Transformers here with a review. So this time we have the Captain America Winter Soldier from the Legends Infinite series Black Widow. So here you go. So as you can see, I do have two here. One I bought a while ago for, I believe I paid like $35 for it on eBay, and this figure came out so long ago. It's just been so desired and so rare, and because she was only one per case forever, so this was just an insanely hard figure to get. So it took me a long time to actually purchase it on eBay because I wasn't going to pay a ridiculous price for it. $35 seemed reasonable for me, and I had enough of waiting, so I finally did buy it for that a few months ago. But just recently, in the last week, I did find it at Target. Just they had one. It wasn't even up with the Captain America stuff. It was actually on the end cap of a toys section, just laying there. It wasn't with anything that it was supposed to be with, so I was lucky to find it, so that was kind of neat. And I debated whether to get it, because do I really need a second, but considering you can kind of totally switch out the figure's head, as well as just she's such a good figure that I thought, there's no way I could just leave it. So yeah, so as you can see, the package is very nice. Like I've been saying, I say it every time, really do like the style of packaging. I think that it's a great improvement over their previous Marvel Legends packaging. So I'm very happy with the new look. On the side, you do get a standard Captain America image. On Guardians of the Galaxy, you do get a separate image for each different character, which I like a lot better. Not only does it kind of personalize the box to the figure, but it just makes it a little easier searching on the shelves for the figure that you want. So very much like that, and as you can see, very nice. You do get the Mandroid body Build-A-Figure piece with her, which is very nice. Of course, it's probably the most important piece, which is a bit of a shame because she came in the last wave, and she is the hardest one to get. So for most people, she's going to be the last figure that you get, and for so long, I had almost every piece to this guy, but I just didn't have the body, so I couldn't connect anything. So I just had a bunch of loose pieces around. It would have been nice to, be able to connect some of them before I was able to finish it, but just on the day I got this body, I was able to finally complete the Mandroid BAF. As you can see, she looks very nice in the back. You get a nice small bio of her. Then you get the others in the assortment. Quite a lot of figures for Captain America. They did a lot. Here's the Build-A-Figure droid, or the Build-A-Figure figure. As you can see, it looks very nice. So you get a comic Captain America. You get a Red Skull and Hydra Soldier. Both of them come with the same Build-A-Figure piece, and they're both there's the same amount of them, so neither one is rarer than the other. Then you get the same thing for Zemo and the AIM Soldier, Black Widow, Captain America from movie style, and Winter Soldier. As you can see, very nice. I have them all. I have 2 Black Widows and 2 AIM Soldiers, so was very fortunate to be able to find really everything that I wanted from this wave, so very happy about that. Overall, really nicely packaged, as you can see. So here's the figure outside of package. And it is a really great figure. Not only is this so sought after just because of the character, because I think that, a great deal of it has to do with the character, but I also think that just the figure itself is so good that a lot of people want to get it as well. And the best thing about this figure is the 2 different head sculpts. I am absolutely floored that they did that, and completely couldn't be grateful enough. Overall, the actual sculpting of the figure looks really good. The head sculpt on both head sculpts I think is really nice. I mean, it's quite accurate for a 6-inch Hasbro figure. It's definitely fine. I mean, it's up to par. I really do like it. It does have a resemblance to Scarlett Johansson, at least as much as it can in this scale of a figure, and overall very happy with that. She does have SHIELD logo right there. Overall sculpted quite nicely and very cool. You do get, those type of, kind of bigger thighs that they give the women figures mostly. And, I believe that in the near future, they're going to be able to fine-tune the woman sculpt of figures to actually get it to look more realistic. I just think that they don't have the proportions quite right. I think this waist is just, this goes out really far. I wish that would be down just a little bit, maybe slightly smaller thighs, and just to make it look a little bit more realistic, because they do kind of over-exaggerate some proportions on the women figures, both in the 3¼ inch and the 6-inch line. So hopefully they'll be able to fix that soon. But for now, it's definitely up to par, at least to the standard of today. As you can see, it looks very nice. She does kind of have her heeled shoes. Very cool. Can't imagine it's very easy to fight in these things. And they're extremely small feet. I mean, these are just incredibly small feet. But overall, they look really good, and they look nice. Very cool. I do like the gloves a lot. How you can see her fingers in there. Focus on the figure. There we go. and her kind of gauntlets there, her wrist bracelets, very nice. The texturing in the outfit is wonderful. You get all these little bumps in it, which is really cool. There's some areas like on the waist here that are like smooth and don't have that texture, but for the most part you get that texture. You get a nice Black Widow symbol with the red. I think it looks good. The zipper and everything looks very nice. And overall, just a very well sculpted figure, other than just the standard proportions that they do on women figures that I don't like very much. Other than that, it's sculpted fine. I mean, it's definitely up to standard, and I'm very happy with it, and just is pretty perfect. Articulation is very nice. You do get a ball jointed head. It can look down quite far, can look up, you know, just basically just straight up, and overall looks very nice. The articulation is good. You know, not fantastic, but pretty good. It is a little bit more hindered on the longer hair version, which I will go over. I'm just going to use the one in the box to go over it though. You do have ball hinge shoulders, which look very nice. Hinge swivel wrist, or sorry, hinge swivel elbows. Then you do have a swivel wrist. It does. I don't think it really has any, you know, up and down movement at all. It's really just swivel. Do have a upper torso ball joint, which is really nice. Works really well up and down and side to side. Sometimes, you know, it's really just more of a side to side joint, but on this one, it does go up and down quite far as well. Do have a ball jointed thigh, which I'm very happy that the gun kind of strap isn't attached to this belt. I mean, just in any position where she's standing, it looks like it is, but when you move it, it's completely not. I think that was a great touch. Very glad that they did that and didn't make it attached, because that would have definitely been frustrating. You get a thigh swivel, double hinge knees, which work absolutely amazing. I mean, they just go as far as you can, you know, get them to go. It's perfect. And then you do have hinge pivoting ankles. The pivot isn't like completely straight. It's hard to get her in a natural stance with this pivot, because it's on one of those like diagonal swivels, so it just kind of swivels up weird. You know, it's very hard to explain that, but just if you have this figure, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. It doesn't work as well as you would like it to, but overall it's quite nice. Now, the only problem with articulation that I have on this particular figure is the fact that the swivel thigh on her left thigh works perfect. It's great. The one on her right thigh, I cannot get to move for the life of me, and you know, I've put in some decent force to this, and it just does not move whatsoever. There's really not a perfect place to grab it, because I'm almost afraid of ripping this gun off too, so it's incredibly annoying. I cannot get this thing to swivel for the life of me, and it's been a bummer on some poses that I'm trying to do and whatnot, so that is definitely a shame, and it's something that you really can't fix, which is disappointing, but yeah. Accessory wise, she comes with the Build-A-Figure piece, of course. Then she comes with two sets of hands. You get these two open hands, which I really like. They're really good for poses and having her run, and just in some type of acrobatic stance is very nice. Very glad to have it. And then you have two trigger finger hands, which is essential for Black Widow. But the also thing that's essential for Black Widow are some guns, and she does not come with any guns. I think that they kind of consider the gun that goes on Mandroid's shoulders that you can use that for her, which is ridiculous, because it's a comic gun, it's massive, and it's not something that she uses whatsoever, so it is very disappointing not to get any pistols. You know, pistols are something that they don't have to remake either. They can just simply, you know, use it from a different figure, because they've made plenty that would fit with this, but they didn't, just to save on costs, I guess. Considering we do get a lot with her, it's hard to complain about it, but considering it's just something that you would absolutely expect and is a must-have for her, it is disappointing that we don't get it, because the guns that are in her holsters are sculpted and they are not removable, which is incredibly disappointing. But other than that, I'm pretty good with the accessories, especially since you get the two head sculpts. Now, this is just so fantastic. I can't tell you how much I'm just absolutely ecstatic about, because, you know, this is the Captain America 2 toy line, which you'd totally expect her to come with the long hair, which she does. So overall, you know, that's expected and fine. But what's really, what we all really want is the Avenger hairstyle, because in the Avengers toy line, they came out with everybody but her, so you could have an Avengers set, but it's just going to be missing Black Widow. That's just how it was forever. But now we actually get the chance to have Black Widow in our collection of Avengers figures, which is much more important than having her in the Captain America 2 collection. I think, in my opinion, I would much rather have her to go along with the Avengers rather than Captain America 2. So if they didn't add the Avengers head sculpt, nobody would complain because it's just not something that you would expect them to do, but they understand that that's what we want and they give it to us, which, you know, a lot of times doesn't happen for Hasbro. They look over that small stuff, but in this case they totally delivered, and I'm completely happy and grateful for them for doing that, because it made my day. I was so happy to see that, because would have never expected it in the slightest. Here she is with Hawkeye. As you can see, looks pretty good. She's a bit tall. You know, I don't think Jeremy Renner is the tallest guy around, but I think that she's a bit taller than she should be, maybe just the tiniest bit taller. She's not a massive amount, it's really not going to make any difference, but she is just a tad bit taller than I would have, than in real life, I think. So that is something that's a small disappointment, but nothing too bad. So now, before I go, let's show you her with my 6-inch Avengers collection. So there's Black Widow finally with the Avengers. This is something that I've wanted to have for 2 years now. We are finally getting it now in 2014, but no matter how long it took, I'm very happy that it has finally come true to finally have the full Avengers team in the 6-inch form, and they all look great, and they're all, you know, Black Widow's costume really doesn't change. I mean, it slightly changes, like I think the texture of her costume changes, but the design overall doesn't change very much. So she, you know, even in the Captain America 2 costume, is completely fine with the Avengers, because it really doesn't look any different. So overall, very happy to have her in the collection. I mean, it's a must-have figure for just about anybody who collects Avengers, because she's a main character, you know. She's one that you just have to get, and she's one that they really don't come out with a ton of versions of, so it's not like if you miss out on this one in 1 year or in just a couple months or something, you'll get another version. That just isn't going to be the case with her, because she is a woman figure, and you know, Hasbro seems to think that nobody's going to buy them, even though in her 3 3/4 inch version as well, she was just as hard to find. So I mean, the women figure are the best sellers for Hasbro, but they just don't seem to understand that, and which is why they barely come out with them. So that's very disappointing. But overall, really great to have her in a 6-inch version. Like I've been saying a million times, so happy to finally be able to do that. So there you go. That's my review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Black Widow. Thanks so much for watching.